The legendary Lou Holtz passed away on Wednesday, and as the last coach to bring a national championship to Notre Dame, my grandmother was a huge fan of his when I was growing up. So, by extension, I was too. Since his passing, I've been rewatching clips of Lou Holtz the man, not just the coach. And one thing that stands out about him is that he had remarkable moral clarity, the kind that is missing among the most popular conservative influencers today.
But most important thing, we're going to hold people accountable for the choices they make. The difference between athletes today and 50 years ago, today everybody wants to talk about their rights and their privileges. 50 years ago, people talked about their obligations and responsibilities.
That clip immediately brought to mind the crisis that is so prevalent among young men. Feeling lost, drifting without any purpose. I've been that young man. Depressed, directionless, feeling stuck where I'm at. The way to escape that feeling is exactly what Lou described. It's not about asking your rights and your privileges what you are owed. No. It's about committing to your duties and responsibilities. Life is a series of roles that you play: son, husband, father, worker, friend, and the obligations that come with them. The way out of the rut of feeling lost is embracing each of your roles to the fullest extent. I started learning this, and believe me, I still have a long ways to go. Just ask my family and my former employers. But I started learning this back around the COVID era by listening to men who speak and live with real moral clarity. Men like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. Peterson has dedicated his life to showing young men how to find true purpose. Shapiro, even as a political pundit, hammers the same point that Holtz did. Commit to your role, be honest, be true. Give everything to your wife and your kids, but always put your wife first. That's how you build a life worth being proud of. But so many young men have turned away from those voices in the past few years. Instead of Peterson's call to embrace sacrifice in order to find purpose, or Shapiro's constant push to commit yourself to your family, young men today are drawn to political talking heads who rarely mention duty, sacrifice, or responsibility. Instead, these talking heads frame everything through victimhood, the same mindset that conservatives once criticized on the left. And honestly, I get it. Young, white, Christian men grew up amid Black Lives Matter, leftist woke rhetoric about the evils of whiteness, a culture that often paints Christian values as backward or harmful. It's easy to see why so many young men buy into the idea that the world is stacked against them. But making that your entire identity will not make you stronger. Because the tragedy is where that mindset leads. Rather than mentors who challenge these young men to rise above the hardships, they are flocking to supposedly conservative podcasters like Nick Fuentes who complain endlessly about politics, scapegoat the Jews, and blame women when they can't find a girlfriend. They affirm their feeling that their problems aren't their fault. It's the fault of the world at large, the Jews or women. Influencers like that offer a sense of belonging, a belonging to an identity group, a victimized group of young, white Christian men. They use sarcasm, rage, and contempt to entertain and bond with their listeners. But never do they use coherent moral teaching to build their or their listeners' character. Even worse, many, including Fuentes, wrap their victimhood in Christian language while acting anything but Christian. Jack Posobiec waved a rosary in front of thousands, then immediately went backstage and apologized to a man wearing a Gas the Jew sweatshirt that was kicked out of the event. Fuentes calls himself Catholic while saying that women belong in gulags and that their only purpose in life is having sex with men. Yet young men somehow see these guys as models of true Christian masculinity. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro, a devoted family man, a strong advocate for churchgoing, who calls Christianity's decline in America a crisis, is dismissed just because he's Jewish. Jordan Peterson, whose biblical lectures have led thousands to a deeper understanding of their faith, is rejected because he hasn't publicly confessed that Jesus is his Savior. It doesn't matter to them that Shapiro and Peterson live out principles far closer to Christian virtue than their favorite Christian podcaster ever has. To them, everything Shapiro and Peterson have ever said should be dismissed because they don't say the right things about God. The issue with today's online Christian and Catholic political voices is not too much politics. It's refusing to echo what Lou Holtz told his players daily. Life is about your obligations, not your grievances. A true mentor would look at a young man and say, yes, the world is unfair, but here's what you can do to make your life better. The new online right says, yes, the world is unfair, so sit there and listen to me validate your anger. If you're a young man hearing this, ask yourself, after 6 months of listening to your main influences, are you a more honest man? Are you a more responsible, faithful, sacrificial man? Or do you just blame people for the world's issues, never even thinking about your moral responsibilities? If you follow someone just because they claim that they are Catholic or Christian, ask yourself, what does that person teach you about how to treat others, your family, women, people of different beliefs? Does he just breed resentment or contempt toward them? If so, walk away. If you're not ready for Ben Shapiro because you've been lied to and believe that the little funny hat he wears makes him untrustworthy, fine, whatever. But don't reject every voice that preaches duty, sacrifice, and responsibility simply because they don't match your exact faith. That's nothing more than a fast track to resentment, hatred, and loneliness. Lou Holtz spent his whole life telling young men that they were capable of more if they embraced their obligations. If the voices you are listening to aren't doing the same, no matter how religious they claim to be, they're not leading you to a happy, fulfilling life. If you stuck around until the end, hit like, subscribe for me. I'm trying to build a platform based on honest, reasonable takes regarding politics, culture, and faith. I'm rejecting the outrage, emotional takes that you get elsewhere. If that's something that you want more of, subscribe here and over on my Substack to get new posts emailed directly to you. With that, I'll see you next time. Thank you.